They deserve to win, the Seattle Seahawks and the organization that earned it. There's a question nobody in sports media asks, because the answer makes analytics people uncomfortable. What if some teams win because they deserve to? Not because they outspent the competition, not because they landed a generational talent in the draft, not because their coordinator drew up a brilliant scheme that nobody had seen before, but because they built something internally, in the culture, in the relationships, in the values that govern how people treat each other inside that building, that made winning the natural outcome of who they are. That's not a feeling. That's not a vibe. That's a measurable organizational reality. And the Seattle Seahawks are the clearest example of it in professional football right now. Thesis. Sun Tzu wrote it 2,500 years ago. The general who treats his soldiers like his own dear children will have soldiers who will follow him into the deepest valley. Not because they have to, because they want to. Because the relationship between that leader and those men has produced something that transcends the employer-employee contract entirely. That's what Seattle has built. And the proof isn't in the trophy case, though the trophy case is filling up. The proof is in how the organization talks about itself when nobody's asking them to perform for a camera. The proof. Mike Macdonald walked into his first team meeting in April of 2024 as a first-time NFL head coach. 32 years old. No previous head coaching experience at any level. Walking into a locker room full of veteran professional athletes who had every reason to be skeptical. He didn't give them a speech about his credentials. He didn't talk about scheme. He didn't promise them a Super Bowl. He told them to visualize January NFC Championship. And then he told them they were going to stack every single opportunity between that moment and that moment. One day at a time. Together. 2 years later, that's exactly what happened. But here's what's more important than the result. Here's what tells you this is real, and not just a coach getting lucky with a good roster. The players built the culture themselves. M.O.B, mission over BS. That's the locker room motto. It's on the shirts. It's on the walls. And it didn't come from the coaching staff. It came from the players, from a leadership council of veterans and younger players who took ownership of what this team was going to stand for. The coach created conditions where that was possible. The players filled it. That's the difference between a culture that's installed and a culture that's alive. Installed cultures die the second the person who installed them leaves the building. Living cultures reproduce themselves because the people inside them have internalized the values as their own. And Macdonald reinforced it with 3 words that every leader in every industry should tattoo somewhere they'll see it every morning. Make it right. Not find someone to blame. Not issue a statement. Not manage the optics. Make it right. And critically, he applies it to himself first. When he makes a bad call that puts his players in a difficult position, he says so. Publicly. Before anyone asks him to. That's the canvas door principle in an NFL head coach. The leader who is willing to be more accountable than he asks his players to be will have players who hold themselves accountable without being asked. The distinction. Now here's what we need to say clearly, because it matters. The Seattle Seahawks are not winning because they have the most talented roster. They are not winning because they have the biggest payroll or the most sophisticated analytics operation or the most creative offensive coordinator. They are winning because they have built an organization where people genuinely want to be there, where the relationships are real, where the accountability flows from the top down instead of being deflected upward, where a motto born in a player leadership council means something because the people saying it have seen their coaches live it first. When a team is less talented but will die for each other, they will beat teams that are better than them. Regularly. Not every time, but regularly enough that it stops being a surprise and starts being a pattern. The Seahawks are a pattern. The close. We spend a lot of time on this channel talking about what's broken. The organizations that optimize for the wrong things. The leaders who surround themselves with yes men and wonder why the truth never reaches them. The franchises that mistake spending for building. The Seahawks are the counter-argument to all of it. Not because they're perfect, not because Mike Macdonald has everything figured out, but because somewhere in that building somebody decided that the foundation was going to be real, that the relationships were going to be real, that the accountability was going to be real, and that the mission, whatever it cost, was going to matter more than the politics. M.O.B. Mission over BS. 2,500 years ago, Sun Tzu told us exactly how this works. The Seahawks are just the most recent proof that he was right. Some organizations win because they deserve to. Build something worth deserving.